Today is May 23rd, 2021. What do you think? Do you think we're getting closer to having a jungle here? This is the latest area that I've been working on, and I think we're getting there. Slowly but surely. I think I've kind of got an addiction. I'm addicted to plants. So I think the key to creating jungle is you need canopy, Camellia japonica. Then you need, up around eye level, you need pinnate or palmate leaves. And that needs to go all the way down to the ground. And ideally it should be so thick you can't see through it. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. I bought 2 of these Arenga engleri from Jungle Music. They are gorgeous palms. I love the way these look. I love these ratty, serrated, wide frond tips. Almost looks like some kind of a caryota. So these came in 5-gallon pots, and they're a little smaller than I thought they would be. But they're really hard to get a hold of, so I'm just glad that I have some. Their root balls were pretty underdeveloped too, relative to the size of the 5-gallon pot. So when I slid them out of the pot, the root ball just kind of crumbled. So hope they're okay. Also from Jungle Music, I got a Camadoria Microspadix. I think it was grown in the sun. The fronds are short, the leaflets are short and stubby. The day after I ordered those, I went down to Raintree and I got these Microspadix. Look how long the petioles are compared to that one. And these were in full shade. I think they just look better when they're in the shade. Oh, the sun's trying to come out. Transplanted a bunch of western sword ferns. I mow these over. I've got so many of them. I don't see them, and I just run over them with the mower. Try not to, but I've got so many. They transplant great. Dicksonia antarctica. These bracken ferns do not transplant well. I don't think their roots can handle any kind of trauma. There's a ostrich fern. Ostrich ferns are cool because they are mildly trunking. Not as much as the Dicksonia, of course, but they're not mounding like the western sword ferns. Then I transplanted both of my Mahonias. This one was in more shade, and it has the more stretched out, I would call them fronds. That Mahonia was in full sun, and it's a lot more dense and compact. But here, it will get a lot more shade, so I think it will look a lot better. And then Rapidophyllum hystrix, one of the few Latin plant names that I don't like, underneath the shade of this Trachycarpus tequil. And I'm not sure if this is a true tequil or not. What do you think? I put this Jubea in here, and I know they're slow growers, but that can't stay there. I've got to move it. I'll move it to the new garden, which I'll show you in a minute. Picked up a couple Robelinii off Craigslist. I really like Robelinii. They seem really susceptible to, I don't know if that's potassium deficiency, but the bronzing on the fronds. Got these from a hippie woman, older lady. She's moving back to California and couldn't take them with her. They've gone a little excessive with cutting off green fronds, though. So she gave me this plant too. She didn't know what it was, neither do I. She said it's from the Midwest. Almost looks like some kind of a cross between a lily and a yucca. I know you can't cross those two. That's just what it reminds me of. It's mildly armed. It's got these small, soft little thorns, spikes. Here's one of the other needles, and another new Trachycarpus from Lowe's. Where that dock is, that's where the Mahonia was that was in full sun. I wanted to put this dock in, so now I can walk right out over the water. So that's cool. And the fish have been going underneath the dock. They do that in real life too. Fishing off the dock is a good place to fish. Miscanthus is growing way faster this year. Last year it was brand new in the ground, and I don't think the roots had developed very well. But it's just taken off this year. It's as tall as me already. It took all summer to get as tall as me last year. Musabaju. There's my, what is that, red dragon, flying dragon? I can't remember the name of it. This poor little Musabaju would push up new growth and then stop and turn brown. So I'd cut it down a little ways and it would be rotten and have insects in it. Same thing with this Mekong giant. So they have been really set back, but I hope they pull through. Now I got to show you the new garden where the Jubea will ultimately end up. Greenhouse. The sun is coming out. My daughter wanted a flag. She got so excited when I put it up. She said, "It's like George Washington!" Yes, sweetie, it is. This is the new garden. It's not really a garden, it's kind of a border. So now, when I'm sitting in my backyard, I've got palm trees right there. I was in town one day and I saw this interesting tree. I'm not sure if it's a magnolia or a yew, but I broke a branch off, divided it into a bunch of cuttings, like 8 or 9 or 10 of them, and I had 100% success. And I did that in January, which is not typically, I think, when you would do cuttings. Musabaju. There's the sable urasana. Back here I've got a little Arbequina olive. Arbequina is evidently the variety you want for this area. There's an Italian honey fig. Down there is a very small Camellia sinensis. That was also a cutting I took. I think I'll move that needle palm so it's more in the shade. And we've got the Butea eriospatha. It's got some browning on the fronds, brown spots. Not sure why. Here's a little Magnolia Grandiflora. You can buy those at the big box stores, but they want like $100 for one that's 5 foot tall. So that poor Philostachys nigra, I've moved it several times all over the yard trying to find a good spot for it. It was mostly in shade, but it's going to get some good sun now, so I think it'll be happier and actually grow. It hasn't put out any new growth. There's another Arbequina. 2 more trackies. Palms always look great in a clump or in a cluster. I gotta plant this Louisiana. And then that hippie lady also gave me this fig. She said it's a Chicago. Guess I should look that variety up. But this is the new garden or border, whatever you want to call it. It's not much yet, but I'll do an update here in 5 or 10 years, so sit patiently for that. I'm sure it'll look great then, I hope. But I gotta cut some trees down to let some more afternoon sunlight in. Got lots of big Douglas firs. They're way up there. Anyway, thanks for watching.